Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to install Node.js on our machine. This video is basically for people who haven't installed Node.js or who don't have Node.js already on their computer. But if you already installed Node.js, you can skip this video and go to the next video. Now, to get started, we need to visit the nodejs.org site where we can get the installer. So on our browser, we type nodejs.org. Now it takes us to this page. Here, as we can see, it automatically detects your operating system. For me, I'm using Windows OS. So these are the installers for Windows. Before we download the installer, we have some tests here. It says Node.js is a JavaScript runtime built on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. And this Chrome's V8 engine, or Google Chrome's V8 engine, is a JavaScript engine written in C++, which compiles JavaScript code into machine code. So Node.js as a JavaScript runtime is built on this Google Chrome's V8 engine. Now, some people tend to categorize Node.js as a framework like Rails, but Node.js is basically not a framework. It's rather a platform that is built on this Chrome's V8 engine. Now, there are platforms or there are frameworks we can use to build web applications alongside with this Node.js. Platforms or frameworks like Express.js, which we're going to be using throughout this course. And also, Node.js has a very large ecosystem for open source libraries, because we're going to be using a lot of those libraries throughout our project. And to see the npm or Node Package Manager site, you can click here and open in a new tab. So we see we have node npmjs.com. So here we can see a lot of libraries, and from here we're going to get the libraries or packages that we're going to be making use of throughout our project. Now, to get started with installing this Node.js, if you don't already have it, here we can see the version 6.9.4, which is recommended for users, and the current version is version 7.4.0. Now, this version 6.9.4 has a long-term support, where this LTS stands for long-term support. But for the version 7.4.0, there's no long-term support yet for it. To see the long-term support or the LTS schedule, you click on this link, you open in a new tab, you take us to the GitHub page. So here we can see Node.js long-term support working group. Now the schedule. From this side, you can see that the earlier versions like version 0.1.0, 0.1.2, they've ended the release of those versions. Now we have an active version, version 4, which has a long-term support as well. Version 5, no long-term support. Version 6, it does, but version 7. Now if you notice, the even numbered versions, they have long-term support, whereas the odd numbered like version 5 and version 7, they have no long-term support yet. But for this project, we can use either version 6 here or version 7. They'll both give us the same results. So you can go through this table and this chart to see the different supports. And a new version of Node.js is actually released after every 6 months. So the next version of Node.js will be released in April of 2017. So if we go back to this, I already have version 7.0.0 installed. So you can either download this version 6.9.4 or version 7.4.0. So to do that, you can click on this and it's going to ask you to download if you are using the download manager. So once you download, all you have to do is just install. You don't have to, there's no settings you need to change, just install on your computer. Once you install Node.js, it comes in with a Node.js command prompt, like your Windows command prompt or your Git command prompt. Now, to see if Node.js is correctly installed, you can just type node v-v to see the version installed. So for me, I have version 7.0.0. So this shows that Node is correctly installed on our computer. So if you have this, seeing the version number, that means Node is correctly installed on your computer.